buckle up, get ready, and I hope that everyone has been preparing. And every day is a good day to get prepared. Every day is a good day to own real money, to own and bear your assets, to own yourself, to understand that your rights come from God, not from government, to understand that money creation comes from value created between two people, not from government. When we can understand life through those lenses, everything becomes very clear. Everything becomes very simple. Everything becomes very easy. Your vote for who you're voting for politicians becomes very easy. Every decision you make becomes incredibly easy. This is the beauty of understanding first principles and having a true foundation. It's again, the old cliche, if you don't believe in something, you will fall for anything. And it truly is the case. Let's jump into this here and see what's going on. I'm finally feeling better after a few days. This whole banking crisis really knocked me on my keister. And funny story though is just my wife's Italian grandfather knocked me on my keister this weekend. And he, let's just say that guy, I don't know, the last time he's had a bottle of water. And he took a few victims with him this weekend. And the guy is just something else. So he claimed a few victims. We had some fun this weekend, and I've never felt like this in my life. So finally feeling better, though, on Wednesday, and that was this weekend. So, wow. And I played hockey my entire life in hockey locker rooms and had my share of fun, but boy, oh boy. Anywho, what is going on in the world? Truly, what is going on in the world? These are the times to try men's souls. This is exactly what we've been talking about for forever. I've been writing about this, talking about this for literally the last 20 years of my life. I'm 35, and I've had businesses investing and had businesses for the last 10 plus years of my life. Been studying this for the last 15 years of my life. Studying politics and history and military history for the last 20 years of my life. Going to school for that, going to school for real estate, going to school for building construction management, political science, and economics, and then living in that world over the last 20 years, and then really actually being in real life, seeing the banking collapse happen firsthand, Occupy Wall Street, the Tea Party, when I was leaving college and graduating Michigan State, and seeing that happen firsthand and understanding, wow, there's a game being played on all of us, and we have to figure out that game, or else you're going to get run over. It was very clear at that point when you had one party coming in, starting the bailouts, and then the other party coming in and finishing the bailouts. It became very evident, very clear. There was a game being run on all of us. And those who did not see it coming got run over, and those who continue to not see it coming will get run over again. So I'm trying to find some books here. Again, these are just some books that I'm just looking at my shelf right here, or right now. I mean, start getting your mind. You start getting your mind right and figuring out what is happening in the world. Collapse by Jared Diamond and The Trap by David Icke. Start figuring out, what is the other side saying? Why was this guy, why is this guy talked about so much and censored? And why is this guy censored so incredibly much? I mean, all his interviews were taken down during 2020, 2021, completely censored. And I don't believe every single thing this guy says. But boy, does he expand your context and get you into a different realm of thinking and context. Check these people out. Start understanding the world that's going on around you and the world that's playing you. There really is no other way to say it, quite honestly. His other book, Guns, Germs, and Steel by Jared Diamond, and then Brzezinski, The Grand Chessboard, understanding how life works. This book is about, the collapse of societies here is a classic, and The Grand Chessboard about how really the island, in Africa and Europe and Asia, that's really the grand chessboard is risk. It's the continents and what really matters, what truly matters, and owning what resources actually matter. And once you start seeing these, you start understanding why. And I don't even have some of my other books around me right now. Actually, I might. I got. Magnificat. You gotta be reading that. Make sure you're right with the Lord. Naked Communist. Conspirator's Hierarchy. We have to start understanding because once you start reading all these books, you start understanding, and the veil is just completely lifted. This is when I saw this 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I started understanding very clearly, very quickly what was happening, and it put all my political experience into context. And I started understanding very quickly, hey, this is the world that we are living in, and this is what is going to happen because of X, Y, and Z, because of this collectivist lens that we are living life in, and all these collectivists that are running in this hippie bubble, the children of the 60s that are running everything. They're the Columbia, the Fabianists, everyone, the socialist collectivists came over in the 30s. They came to Columbia first, and they started spreading out from there and teaching the youth. And that's where you had this hippie movement, the hippie bubble that was created in the 60s. And the kids, those kids, all the protesters, which I believe in some of what they say, some of what they said, like the war in Vietnam, stuff like that. I used to be a proponent for that. Like, oh, we had to go to Vietnam, we had to do this and that. I don't believe that now. I mean, you talk to people who were there. You see the Robert Kiyosaki's talk, who fought in Vietnam, and the things that huge patriots, people that love America, and they're like, why are we there? I mean, the CIA is there. The things, the false flags, Lyndon Johnson, the Gulf of Tonkin, the fake things that went on just to get us into war to perpetuate the military-industrial complex. And seeing that, looking back, and understanding, wow, a lot of things I had thought or believed were wrong, and being able to admit that, which is fine. And we can learn, we can grow, we can get better. And those things are wrong. And the Patriot Act was wrong. I thought at the time that it was a good idea. Being a 13-year-old kid, I thought it was a good idea, and that's a reason why a 13-year-old kid probably shouldn't be able to vote. Paging Nancy Pelosi. So this is why. Now looking back again, you see, I just thought like, hey, of course we need to get those bad guys, whatever. And who doesn't think that? But this is where it leads. It leads down the road to complete censorship and things of that nature. And the libertarians or whatever it is, the liberty-minded people, the true liberals, the classical liberals, before it was co-opted into the modern-day version of liberals, those people are right. They, like Ben Franklin said, if you are going to give up peace, or if you're going to give up freedom for some security, you will have neither and deserve none. And this is exactly what we are living in. We're living in this clown world where we are going to get neither. Where you keep trading our freedoms for a little bit more security, a few more breadcrumbs. Good luck. Guess what? Those breadcrumbs are running out. And once you start reading these books, The Creature from Jekyll Island, all these books go down the list, and you start seeing that the entire system is built against you. Central bankers run the world. Paul Warburg's. I have a bunch of those books too, which are phenomenal books about the Federal Reserve, the creation of the Warburgs, the Rockefellers. You go all these books that you can order them very easily and spend the next year reading these 20 books, and your life will change forever. Making fiat currency or making money won't be as difficult for you because you will understand the game that's being played on you, and you'll understand how to become your own bank. One of those ways is by buying Bitcoin. One of those ways is by owning a little bit of physical precious metals. This is not financial advice, it's freedom advice. Even though I'm telling you to buy commodities, I still want to put that out there. This is not financial advice. This is freedom advice. By being sovereign, being your own bank, and putting yourself on the side of the victors, but the moral victors, though. Because the fiat clown world we have is immoral. Bonds are enslavement. Root word of bondage is bond. Or I should say the other way around. The root word of bond is bondage. So, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly now. Still getting over this sickness. So we'll give me a break here. That's what we're living in. When you go and give the government, a corporate bond is fine, but you go give government money or currency and say, hey, here's I get a bond in return. I'll keep this bond. The government says, oh, thanks. I'll tax you in the future to pay that back. I'll tax your children in the future to pay that back. That's absolute clown world. Absolute clown world. But that's what we do. That's what we do. And we're okay doing that, apparently. We're totally fine doing that, and that's totally okay. So once you see the writing on the wall, what actually happens, then you'll be able to understand how to invest, understand how to operate in this world, how to vote, and on down the line very quickly and easily, because the veil will be lifted from your eyes. The collectivist playbook. I always tell people for years that once you have the collectivist glasses on, once you have the collectivist lenses on, like this, here's my collectivist lenses, there we go. Once you have these on, everything becomes very clear. Everything's super clear now. I can see, oh my goodness, wow, this is what you're doing. That's what you're doing. Once you have that on, now you can see very easily the playbook that is being run on you. Whether it's the Band-Aids on bullet holes, the welfare, every grift and graft program, entitlements, Medicare, Social Security, you name it, the New Deal, the Green New Deal, ESG, go on down the line. Every single program. There's a reason why we have shooters now, mass shooters that are not they're not being prosecuted by DAs here in Michigan State University. We just did a video on it. He was in trouble with the police. The Parkland shooter. Let's go on down the list. But all the people have been run-ins with police. Should have been in jail. Should have been in prison. Weren't in prison because of a collectivist, socialist DA who let them out. Because quite honestly, they want chaos. And let's just call spades let's call a spade a spade. These people want chaos because that's how you get change. How do you get change? It's from chaos. As we know from Saul Alinsky, Rules for Radicals, another great book. This is one of the manifestos of the modern day left. Unfortunately, the left has been co-opted by the collectivists, by these Alinskyites and Fabianists. It was, never let a good crisis go to waste. We create this chaos to implement our change and revolutions, color revolutions. So this is the process. It just all starts here, breaking the currency. It's one of the 10 planks of the Communist Manifesto, which, again, I've got the Communist Manifesto around here. You have to understand your enemy. You understand your enemy, which, unfortunately, a lot of people have been co-opted. The humans aren't our enemies necessarily, but it truly is evil. It's this demonic spirit inside that has corrupted many people, whether it's because they want power or they want more fiat currency, they want more wealth, they want something. And that's what corrupts people at the end of the day. So we have to understand that. And once we understand this with these books and our education, and why wouldn't they teach this in school? How come we don't know this in school? How come they don't teach any of that in school? Why not? Give me an answer as to why they wouldn't teach any of this in school. They didn't teach you how to handle money in school, let alone teaching you the origins of people that are trying to take you out, take out the West, take out the United States, take out free markets and capitalism and liberty. So why is it? We don't even understand our history. We don't even teach the Founding Fathers. They're racist now, apparently. Well, who do you think came up with that? That was the collectivists. That's in the 45. It's right. It's in here. We can go through and read some of these things and go through the bullet points of what they wanted to do. And see, and here they claim that 44 of the 45 rules of the communists already have happened. Here's some of the bullet points they're going to do: discredit and eventually dismantle the FBI. Well, we've done a good job of discrediting that. Eliminate all laws and procedures which interfere with the operation of the communist apparatus. Eliminate the House Committee on Un-American Activities. Belittle all forms of American culture and discourage the teaching of American history. What did we just talk about? On the ground that was only a minor part of the big picture. Give more emphasis to Russian history since the communists took over. Interesting. Eliminate prayer or any phase of religious expression in the schools on the grounds that it violates the principle of separation of church and state. And go down the list. And we've got them all. We've done them all. We've played right into the playbook. They did exactly what they said they do. And we wonder why we have problems. So I'll do a separate video with the market update here. This turned into a little bit of a rant on other stuff. So I appreciate your time and energy. Let me know your thoughts of this and what you are doing and what you've read to understand the game that's being played on us. Please, I would love to know. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk. This is freedom advice, not financial advice. We question everything with boldness. This is why we got the system and get ourselves independent and prepared for what's coming ahead. Bitcoin, gold, silver, food, energy, land, water, firearms, ammo, security, community, building community. It's the number one thing to get us ahead in what is absolutely coming. This past week, last year, with Ukraine, with the Canadian truckers, the Dutch farmers, with the banks collapsing, what else has to happen? What else has to happen to get people awake and understand what's going on? We still have people completely asleep at the wheel everywhere. Wall Street guys, I'm on Twitter Spaces, people just completely asleep at the wheel and have not any clue what's going on. Couldn't even understand what money is. They deal with money every day, couldn't understand what it was though. So I appreciate you. Please share this out because the algorithm hates truth. Absolutely hates truth. If we want to spread this, people will learn in two ways: through education or getting kicked in the face. I'd rather us not have to learn the hard way, get kicked in the face. That means civil unrest and terrible life for all of us. And then all of a sudden we have epiphany and we learn. I'd rather just us get it through education, spreading this out. Everyone who's sharing truth and reality and alternative narratives, I hope that everyone shares those things out so we can not get kicked in the face. I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you on the next one.